Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be the first part of my full collection and declutter for the year. So last year I think I only did eyeshadow palette like as a video declutter, but this year I want to do a full collection video, talk about everything and declutter stuff or talk about what I've already been decluttering over the last couple weeks. I really want to streamline stuff that I'm not using, and I thought this would be a fun way to show what I have. And I know people really like a chill background declutter, so I'm gonna try to keep this pretty chill, just talk about the pretty things that I have, what I like, what I don't, and what I'm getting rid of. I don't want this to be a ruthless declutter. I don't wanna make room just to bring more stuff in. I really want to downsize stuff that I'm not using that could go to someone else or is old and needs to be tossed away, so that I'm focusing on the stuff that I have and that I love. And yeah, there might be some gaps that need to be filled at some point, or I get PR from something at some point, but this is less about making room for new and more streamlining what I have. Today's video is going to be on complexion products, so foundation, concealer, blush, bronzer, all of that. And I will have timestamps for everything so that you can watch the part that you want, or you can just watch it in the background. I know people really like to have these kind of videos on in the background a lot, and I will try to keep this nice and fun and chill and just talk about the pretty things that I have. When I'm done with all of these, I'm gonna combine them into one long video in case that is something you are interested in. So that'll be, I think there's gonna be complexion, lips, and then eyeshadow, and then I'll do one that is all of them edited together for one long video if that's what you'd like. I'm gonna turn the camera down now and we're gonna look at my table and we're just gonna go through things one by one. And I will see you all at the end of this. Okay, so welcome to my table and the first part of my declutter. I'm gonna go through complexion products today, like I said in the intro, and I think I'm gonna have timestamps for everything. So not per product, obviously, but per category. And we're just gonna kind of go in the order of how I would do my products and see what I can get rid of and what I can downsize. So first, I'm gonna do brows, partly because I do them first and I do them every day, but I also don't have a ton of brow products in general. So this is everything I have for brows. I do have backups of some of these, but this is everything. So this is the Colfi Brow Gel. This is the clear one. This is the Free the Brow Brow Gel. I have the shade Clear. This was sent to me in PR. It is nice. It holds pretty well. It's got the brow gel there, and then you've got a comb and a brush. It's very similar to the Refi one. This one's made in Italy. I really like this. I was sent this in PR. I do have a link with Colfi, but this is really nice. I've only had this for a few weeks, but when I've used this on especially like no makeup days, I've really enjoyed it. So definitely keeping that. The other two brow gels I have are Kosas and Surratt. So this one Surratt sent me and it is almost dead. This is their brow pomade. I have two more of these that I purchased during a sale because I've realized I think this is my favorite. It has a good amount of hold. It is like a brush, like a traditional just brush. It has a good amount of hold. It fulfills in my brows the amount that I need because I already have pretty thick full brows, and it holds things really well. So I really love this, and they had a sale, so I bought a couple more for when this one is gone because it feels like it's almost gone. And then this is the Kosas Air Brow. This is my second one of these. This is the shade Medium Brown. I really like this. It does fill in. I have also used the Milk Makeup one. I really like that. I think if you have more sparse brows and you need some fluff, kind of like that fibrous fill to them, these are really great. And I do like this, but this on my already thick brows can be too much. So that's why I like this Surratt. But if you have thinner brows than me, or naturally less thick brows, I think this is a really great option. And then for brow pencils, I have two. I have, this is from the original House Labs. I have a bunch of these because I really liked this, and then I ordered some while they were still on Amazon at one point, and they got lost. I ordered them from House Labs themselves, I think, but they got lost in the mail, and they were having like a sale, so I bought a bunch of them, and then they got lost, and then a month later they were like, okay, we'll send you another one. They sent me another package of like 10 or 8 or something, 6, I don't know at this point. And then the other ones like months later showed up. Thanks post, I don't know, I think it was UPS, FedEx. This one's almost dead. I've gone through many of these. I still have a handful of them. I like them. This is soft brown, and then this is Kosas. This was sent to me in PR. The reason I like this is it is very fine. It is a very tiny tip. If you look at comparison, very tiny. I don't use brow pencils every day, but sometimes I have like a patch that I need to fill in that the pomade or the gel doesn't get, so I do like to have these. So these are both staying. Okay, so I don't have a ton of primers. I am gonna get rid of some of these. So right off the bat, ones I know I'm gonna keep. This is the Victoria Beckham Priming Moisturizer. I love this. This is the shade Golden. Got this a few weeks ago. About the small size. This is the 15 ml. To try it, because I wasn't sure if it was, I didn't want to spend a ton of money. I didn't want to buy the $100 or $150 version until I knew I liked it. And now I wish I would have bought a bigger bottle because I love this. I basically just want to use this every day. My skin also really loves this. I have seen some of my redness has already started to fade in spots that I've been struggling with for years. So this will be a permanent mainstay in my collection from now on. Love the heavy packaging. It's glass. It's got the tortoiseshell up here. Really love this. It does have a nice golden sheen to it, but it's not like too gold where it's like a tint, but it's just really pretty. 100% worth it for me, so I will keep this. This is my favorite now. This is my other favorite. This is the Surratt primer. This is the Perfectionist primer. This was sent to me in PR. I do have a code with Surratt. I've used a lot of this. This is also a $100 primer. This is more of a soft matte primer. Really like this as well. This is the best like soft matte mattifying primer that I've used ever. So I think these are both like $100, but these are the two primers that I want to keep forever for different days or different things, or a mix of the two. So love these. We'll need to buy a new one of these eventually, but you know, I've been using this one most days now. These two are kind of primer slash liquid highlighter, so I wasn't sure where to put them, so I put them here because this one's a little bit more primer. So this is the Fenty Ease Drop Lit, which is you can use it as a liquid highlighter, you can mix it into things, you can put it on by itself, and this is the Auric Glow Lust, which is a similar thing. You can see my Auric Glow Lust is almost dead. It's down to here. Love this. I already have a replacement. So this is staying. This is the shade Pyrite. I wish it was a little darker. So for my skin tone, this is definitely a highlight. I can wear it all over the face and then bronze and powder and stuff, but it's not like, it's a little lighter than my actual skin tone, but really love this. This is the best version of a liquid illuminator that I've tried. I've even done this and I wasn't even too shiny. Like, this is pretty. This is what I wore today to work. The Fenty one I do like. It is a softer version. It is not as glowy, and it doesn't have as much skincare benefits as some of those other products. And I've used it, it's fine, but I have just gravitated away from using it. Like, I used it when I first got it and reviewed it and for a little while afterwards, but then I just kind of stopped using it. So this can be passed along to someone who might use it more. This is the What's Up Beauty Positivity Primer. This is a hydrating face primer. This was sent to me in PR. It is really nice. It's kind of just like a nice glowy primer. I don't like it as much as the Victoria Beckham, but it is nice. It's, you know, clear. It doesn't have color. I will keep this and keep using it, but I prefer the Victoria Beckham and the Surratt, but this is a lot more affordable. It is just a nice hydrating primer. So if you want kind of a hydrating, lightweight, really easy to wear primer, this is worth checking out. And then I have both of the ones from Milk Makeup. So this is the Hydro Grip. This is the one they're most known for. You can see I've made a dent in it. I had a travel size of this. I used it all up, so then I bought a full size, and I've just not used it as much. If I want a bit of a glow and I really want my makeup to last all day, because it has that really tacky stick, I will use this. So if I'm gonna be out all day, like when I've been at, like I'm gonna be outside all day or something, and I wanna make sure, or there's been some days where I knew I was gonna like go to work and then do something afterwards and then do this, I will grab this, but it's not my go-to anymore. I much prefer those. So I think I'll hold on to this for now. I think this is gonna go into the purgatory space because I just don't use it enough, and there's a lot in here, so someone could use this more. Yeah, I think I might end up seeing if my sister-in-law wants this, so I think I'm gonna declutter this. It is nice, but I just don't use it enough. I gravitate towards the Surratt or the Victoria Beckham, so, or just no primer. And then this is the matte primer from them. This is the Pore Eclipse. I will keep this. It is really nice. I will wear it even without makeup. I do buy the travel size because the price difference, it's like half the size for half the price. Like it's not like one of those where this, the bigger you get, the cheaper it is. Like the less per ounce you're paying. For this, it's the same per ounce. So I like having this as like a true matte primer for my nose when I need it, but that's it, that's all. So I think I will pass along these two and then keep the others. Okay, so here is foundation and concealer. I'm gonna move concealer off to the side for now, but I do use concealer as foundation a lot, so I did just grab both. This is Skin Tints foundation, this is everything. So start with a couple things that I will for sure keep. This is the Lisa Eldridge Skin Tint. I love this. I have shade T9. Mine is very messy. So you can see in the cap, the shade of it. It is perfect. I love it. This is the best skin tint I've ever used. It's blurring. It looks like skin. It's undetectable if you do it right. It lasts all day. It's got a lot of skincare in it. My skin really likes it. So this, I feel like mine is getting low, but as soon as this is gone, I'm buying another one. I love this. Best skin tint I've ever used. So highly recommend checking this out. It is expensive, but I think it's worth it if you can afford it. So that is for sure staying. And then the Lisa Eldridge foundation, I will pull that as well. I have shade 16. Could also buy 17 depending on the day and time of year, but I chose 16 because then it would work all year. Really love this. It is kind of a soft matte foundation. I think it's the most matte foundation I have, but it's very flexible. So if you, depending on what primer and how you use it, you can have it be more glowy, you can have it be more matte. It's really a flexible formula. It does also self-set. So if I want to wear makeup all day, like I'm going to a work event after work, like this Friday we have our holiday party, I will be wearing this because I can wear it all day. And even when I've worn this in light layers, like I do, I've had people be like, wait, you're wearing foundation? Because it's just so good. Shade range is great. She has really great olive undertones. If you have an olive undertone like me, I really love it. And you can get sample packs to like find your shade, which I enjoy and appreciate. Another two that I will for sure keep are the Dewdrop foundation from Surratt. So this is probably my favorite go-to foundation because it's less coverage than Lisa or some of the others. It's the perfect amount where it's a little bit more than the skin tint, but it doesn't really look like much else. It adds a nice blur to the skin. Your skin looks healthy. Love it. The mechanism is a pain, so you do have to shake it, unscrew the cap, and then use the push here to drop. I have two shades. They sent me a few, but these are the two that I've kept. 8 and 9. 9 is my perfect shade. 8 also works though, and I'll sometimes mix them. I already have a backup of 9 because it's almost empty. And then the mechanism is weird. So like this one, it comes out, it's like kind of a pain to get it to come out, but this one, it comes out really easy. So I don't love the mechanism, but I love the formula. Really expensive. It's like $70 and you only get 0.64 ounces, not a full fluid ounce, but I love it. I already have another one for when 9 is gone. It's perfect in my opinion. And then here I have a couple that I will be getting rid of. So this is the Kosas BB Burst. They did send this to me in PR. This is shade 22, medium neutral olive. It's a good shade. It's just a very thick formula. So it's a gel cream tint. It's a tinted moisturizer. It looks nice on the skin, but it's very thick. And I have learned that I prefer a really runny formula. And I just don't like the way this feels on my skin. I do know some people who really like it, especially if you have dry skin. I think you'll like this, but for my normal to oily, I just don't enjoy the texture of this, so this will be going. And then this is the About Face Performer foundation. This is M2 Olive. I really wanted to love this because they have a really good shade range. There's olive tones in the light, the medium, everywhere. And I know some people who love this. My friend Ivy, Better Than Basic Ivy, this is her favorite. She uses it all the time. I know other people who really love it, but I could not get this to work for me. No matter how little I used, no matter what primer, no primer, skin prep, powder, it would not set on me. I have normal, I would say pretty balanced normal skin. My nose can be pretty oily, but that's about it. And this just looked wet on me at all times. So if you're really dry, I think you would like this, but it stayed wet. Like I would set it, and then within a half an hour, it looked like I hadn't set my face and I just had liquid on my face. So I did get a refund from this and I kept it to keep trying. Like I reached out to the brand and they refunded me and I kept trying it, but I think it's just time to fully just pass it on instead of holding on to it. This is another Keep. This is the House Labs foundation. This is shade 260. Really love this. It is a very good shade match for me. I've used about half the bottle. I love it. You can wear it as pretty light coverage or build it up for built up medium coverage. It is more coverage than I want on a day-to-day, but I do really like this. It has a really nice skin-like appearance. It lasts beautifully, so this will stay. I love this. House Labs is one of my favorite brands. Okay, so let's pull some of these in here. So this is the Fenty, I'll do both of these. So this is the Fenty Ease Drop, and this is the Ease Drop Blur and Smooth Skin Tint Stick. So these are the liquid. I have shades 11 and 10, depending on the time of year. This one's almost empty. This one's a little bit more in it. Really love these. It is decent coverage for skin tint. It's a little more matte, so if it's, especially in the summer, I like these. This is full thick skin and I will use this. I've used this all summer, and I traveled with that to Europe this summer, but these are a little bit more matte, so if I'm feeling a little more greasy, I do like having, again, a little slightly more matte version, so I will keep these. They're really nice. I think it's an underappreciated product. This is the stick version of this, and I don't like this as much. I wanted to like it, I used it a bunch, and then I just kept stop using it because somehow the stick is more glowy, and it just doesn't last as well on my skin. Also, the shade is just a little different. So this is shade 10. This is shade 10 in here, and shade 10 in the liquid blends into me perfectly. This one pulls a little more gold on my skin tone. You can see just how it's like a more saturated version of the tone, I think. And it's just, my husband also bought this, he used it a lot for a little while, and then once we bought like the Lisa Aldridge and other stuff, like we just stopped using it. So I think this is safe to go away. I just don't use it over anything else. I like that it's a stick, and I think if you thought this was too dry or you really want ease and hydration, I think this is a nice option for other people. But for me, it's just not the right formula. This is my other favorite like makeup artist foundation. You can see I have a thing for makeup artist brands. Pat McGrath, this is the shade 14. Really love this. It is the most runny of all of these. It is the most skin-like. You can build it up, but it is just a beautiful skin-like finish. It is one of the older formulas in this group, but it holds up. I've used it recently. It still looks good on the skin. I just love it so much. So this will for sure stay. I will always want to have this. I feel like it's a little more skin-like. This has a little bit more glow to it because of the skincare in it. And then this is a little bit more matte than either of these. So these are like my three primary. This is the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. I have the shade Stromboli. This is nice. It is a little bit of a thicker formula and it is a little glowy. I think this is going to be in purgatory for me because I didn't really love it when I got it, but in the last year I just haven't used it as much, like in 2024. But I did try it again. I don't like that the lid doesn't stay. I did try it again a couple days ago and it looked really good on the skin. So I need to do another couple days with this before I fully decide. So it's purgatory, but probably keeping. And then this is the NARS Tinted Moisturizer. This is SPF 30. I have the shade Medium 1. I really like this. I don't wear this as much as I used to. I went through a lot of this right away and then I kind of stopped. I think I'll hold on to this. It still smells fine. It still looks fine. I don't like it as much as the Lisa. I won't repurchase this. I would rather wear this or this for light coverage, but I will hold on to this for now, but I don't think I'll repurchase it. And then I've got concealers. So I don't have a ton of concealers. Oh, I forgot to. But I am very particular about concealer. So I want my skin complexion to look like skin. So that is the biggest thing. I have 3 shades of the Kosas. These are just different shades. So I have 6.0 for 6 Olive, 4 Neutral, and 5.50. So these are the 2 I use the most. This is a good like face shade, and this is an under eye shade. So these are the 2 that I use all the time. Love this formula. I just love it. I've bought multiple of these. They've sent me some. I think they sent me this one and maybe this one, and I bought this one. I don't know, but I've bought both of these multiple times. So they've replenished my stock a couple times. This one is, I asked them to try for a brightening shade, and it is pretty bright and a little more yellow than neutral. So I don't use it very often, but these 2 I use pretty regularly, especially 5.50. Love these. Love the formula. It is hydrating. It looks like skin. It works really well. So we'll definitely keep those. This is my other holy grail. This is my second tube of this. I fully used one, and I think this one is, yeah, you can see if I swirl, you can see some of it. So this one's like half gone. This is the Haus Labs Triclone Concealer in 23. Love this. Looks great under the eyes. This is a thicker consistency. I tend to like a thin complexion product. This is pretty thick, but it melts into the skin really nicely. And I can use this, like put a few dots all over, blend it with a brush, and just use this as my foundation, which I use a lot, which also makes, like, this is a really good combo. So this will always be around until it somehow, unless it gets dethroned, but this is perfect. These are the Givenchy concealers. I have 2 shades. I have 280 and 310. So 310 is a nice face shade for me, and 280 is a good like under eye, middle of the face kind of shade. Really love this. It is like a little expensive for a concealer, but you get a lot of product, and I used these as my foundation a lot last summer. This summer I had the skin tint and this mostly, but I used these a lot last summer. But I think I'm gonna pass them along because this one has separated and this one is starting to smell a little bit. And I think they've just gone off. So love the formula, worth trying out. You get a lot of product, so it also makes like a good foundation. But yeah, these, you can see this one's separated and it's like a little clumpy. And there's that like, there's like a slight smell to it that I don't think was there before. So I think these are just gonna get tossed, but I did use most of them. Like you can see, it's all the way down here, so. And then the last three concealers, I've got, this is the Bright Fix from Fenty. This is Deep Butter. This is very thin, very good for no makeup. Works well with the skin tint. This is my second bottle of this. I haven't used it much in the last few months, but I have loved it in the past, and I did use it the other day and I still like it. So for really, really sheer coverage, this is nice. And then these are the most expensive concealers here. So this is the Surratt Dewdrop Concealer. This is shade 5. This was sent to me again. Love this. It is a really good shade for me for under the eyes. You can see it's a little lighter than the rest of me. It has a lot of skincare in it. Really love it. It's a little more full coverage than the foundation, which I actually think works pretty well. So you have full coverage in spots where you need it, and then like the sheer layer everywhere else. I love this. This is probably getting low. I don't know if I'll repurchase this right away, but if they send it to me again, I would keep using it, you know. It is just an expensive one. And then this is my other expensive one. This is the Victoria Beckham Concealer in LM1. This I got about 2-3 weeks ago now, and I can't stop using it. This is pretty full coverage but thin. This is the most natural looking concealer I've ever used. So it has the same skincare in it that the priming moisturizer does, and my skin seems to really love that. And this just is the most natural looking concealer I've ever used. I can put a little bit of this on and nothing else, and you literally can't tell I have anything on. I love it. It does have a good amount of coverage though. The only complaint is that it is a $70 concealer. I got shade Light Medium 1, and it is a really good shade. I don't really want to pump any out, but I'll put right there so you can see it's pretty similar. It's a little bit darker than the Surratt. Really love it. And then just for reference, I'll put the House Labs right here so you can kind of see how it's a lot thicker. It's a little bit brighter. And then the Kosas, Kosas does a really good job with olive undertones. So you can see it's a little bit more golden. And this has not quite an olive undertone, but it's got a little more gold with like a hint of something. But these all work really beautifully, and you can just see how thin those two are. So these are the ones that I will be keeping, and these are the ones that I will be getting rid of. Okay, so let's move on to powders. I don't have a ton of powders, and there's the ones that I use every day. So I often will do cream blush and stuff like that before I do powder, but I just figured to do powder here. So first off is my go-to loose powder. This is the House Labs powder in Golden. I love this. This is my second tub of this, and I've made a big dent in this one as well. You do get a lot of product. This is blurring. It sets things beautifully. I love this. Use it every day. Favorite pressed powder of all time. This is the other pressed powder I have. This is the Puff Puff Pass from Kimchi. This is nice. It is a white loose powder, or a translucent, like clear loose powder. I used to use this a lot, and it is nice when you want, this is very, very setting. So if you're oily and you want something very mattifying, this is nice. I don't have very much of it left. So I will sometimes grab it, but it's not a go-to, and it is almost dead. So I will just try to finish this. Sometimes I'll use this if I put a cream shadow down and I want to set it on my lid, like the Mob Beauty one that I have. This is what I will use. So I'll hold on to that for now. I'd rather, I think, have the translucent version of this, but that's fine. My historic favorite pressed powder is the Kosas. I love this. This is my second one of these. So this is the shade Cushiony. I also have gone through more than one of the shade above this, which is like more neutral. This has a bit of a gold sheen to it. I think Kosas sent this one to me, but I bought the other two, you know. I fully panned one, And then I have one that, the other one I have at work as like a backup in case I need it, and it is neutral, and it's like got a ridge of product and like a divot. I forgot to bring it home, but it is almost dead. And this is my third, and it's pretty flat. This is one of the best pressed powders out there. It's got a nice bit of blur to it. It sets your makeup nicely. It just looks like skin. It looks really well. It controls oil somewhat, like it mattifies a little bit but without looking too matte. I just really love it, so I will keep that. This is what the newest powder I have. This is the Hourglass Translucent Vanish Powder in the shade Medium. I really like this. You can already see a little bit of the pan is almost forming there. This is a really beautiful pressed powder as well. It's a little more mattifying than Kosas, a little more blurring than the Kosas. Really like this. I wish there were more shades. And I wish this was magnetic so you could refill it or pop it out. I carry this with me in my little bag that I take to work every day so I can touch up if I need to. I travel with this with a big fluffy brush powdering. Like I will set with this and sometimes buff this over. Looks beautiful, love it. We'll definitely keep that and repurchase. This is the Pat McGrath powder. This is the shade Light, which is the white one. And I will use this to brighten my under eyes if I feel like I need it that day. And then my husband will sometimes use it as well. And you can see it's basically gone. So I will finish this up. Like there's just a little bit there on the edges around the pan. So this could probably go, but a handful more times of use and this will be gone. So I will be finishing that. And then this is the NARS powder that came out like last year. This is the Soft Matte Advanced Perfecting Powder. In the shade Bay, you get 9 grams of product. This is very matte. So oftentimes, instead of using like the kimchi, if I need like more mattifying, I will grab this. The shade is a little more yellow than I would like against, like for my olive undertone, the next shade down was like too neutral, looks weird. But this is fine. I like this, but I don't love it for every day, but it does have the occasional use. So I will keep this for now. And then this is technically a finishing powder, but my other ones are in palettes, so I figured I'd put this here. This is the Gourmande Meteorites. This is shade 3 Warm. Love this packaging. And I really like this product. So you get a little puff of the Gourmande Bee, and it's these, what they're famous for. These have been around for decades. These like balls of pigment, so you have different colors for different things, and you just swirl your brush in, or you can use this, and it's a beautiful finishing powder. I love it. I love the way my skin looks when I use it. The scent is a lot. This one they changed the scent on, so it smells different from the bronzer I have from them. And I do prefer this scent to the bronzer scent I have, but it's pretty heavily scented and perfumed. It does fade though, but I don't grab it as much as the Hourglass because of that scent. But when I do use it, I love it, and I love the like ritual of using it and the little case, and it's just so pretty. So this is for sure staying. So all of my powders are staying, but the kimchi and the Pat McGrath are almost gone, so. Oh, and I forgot this one over here. So this is the Melt Finishing Powder. This is also shade Medium. This is the Glaze Skin Sheer Finishing Powder. This got really mixed reviews, but I did buy it when it launched. And it is very glowy. So a lot of finishing powders have a bit of glow to them. A lot of finishing powders have a bit of glow to like smooth the skin and buff it and give that glow. But this is like almost highlighter glowy. It does, and it has clay in it to help control oil. So it's not like a bad product, but it is very shiny. And if you build up too much of it, I think it looks like a natural highlighter. So I could keep this as a highlighter, but I never use it. So I think I'm gonna pass this along, because you can see it's It's just, maybe. No, every time I use it, I'm like, I don't love this, so I'm gonna pass it on. Okay, so next is gonna be contour, and this is easy because I only have one. So I used to have the Milk Makeup Contour as well, and I do really like the color. I don't remember the shade I got. It was the medium one. I really like the color. The formula was really nice, but that one did go bad. It did have a weird smell to it, so I did get rid of that. Plus, it like stuck to the cap and it was just kind of a pain to use. I don't love the component, I liked the formula. But this is the Victoria Beckham Contour Stylus in the shade Sandstone. It's not super cool tone, it's pretty neutral, but I like that I can draw the contour where I want. It blends out beautifully, it lasts all day. I can use this on the lid to kind of contour as well. It's expensive and you don't get a lot of product, and I do think it could be a little cooler to be a true contour, but I love it and I would repurchase this, so I will be holding on to my singular contour. Okay, so here are all of my bronzers, which this is too many. Some of these I got in PR, some of them were given to me by friends, but get out of the way the ones like my favorites. So this is the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Bronzing and Shaping Serum. I have the shade Medium. I bought this when it came out. I've used about half of it. I use it almost every day. I love it. It is really sheer, but that's why I like it, especially for no makeup days or where I'm just wearing a skin tint. This adds just a little bit of warmth to the complexion. You can mix it in with other stuff if you need, because it is a liquid and it's got a pump and the doe foot, so you can warm up like the Lisa Eldridge skin tint or foundation that are a little light in the summer. I could warm them up with this. I love this. This will probably be a forever product for me. Can't speak highly enough of this, but it is very sheer. So if you want a very pigmented bronzer, it's just not the one for you, but love it. So I also have the stick from Makeup by Mario. This is also shade Medium in the Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick. This is a cream bronzer. I've tried light medium, which is a little more contour on me. It's got the brush on the other end, which I have mixed feelings about. It's not a bad brush, but you know, I just don't love a brush in a product. And then it is just a nice stick cream bronzer. It's not my absolute favorite shade, but it's a good formula. I used it a lot for a while. That's all that's left. I don't know if I broke it or what, but that's all that I've got. So I think because it is right at the end and broken and will not go up or down, I think this is ready to go. I don't use it as much anymore, and that's all I have. So I could get the last of that out. Oh, there's a little bit more. Yeah, that's what I have left. So, but I just don't ever reach for it. So, and yeah, it feels like it's broken. It won't go back down. So I think this one it's time for this one to go bye-bye. Yeah, it's just smearing on the top. I also have the other stick bronzer that I have is from Trixie Cosmetics. Love Trixie Cosmetics. This is much smaller, but you do get a lot of product. So this is 7 grams of product, and this is 10 grams of product. This is a really lovely formula. This is a really nice shade. It just melts into the skin beautifully. This is more of a summer shade for me. You can see it's a little dark, and it's got a little more. This is a really nice sculpting shade, but it is a really beautiful formula. Definitely recommend. So I guess that is my stick bronzer now. This is the House Labs bronzer in shade 8, medium level 8. So this is medium level 8 and it has a golden undertone, and it is beautiful. I love this. I use this as eyeshadow. I use this as bronzer. I love this. I do have a really big divot right here. I don't know if that'll come across on camera, but there's a huge divot right here that's almost about to form a pan. So love this. Will 100% keep this. It is a really unique velvety powder that I just really love, and you can see the color there. It's just like a beautiful, you can shear it out, you can build it up. It is just a lovely formula. This is the Melt bronzer. This is the Ultra Matte Powder Bronzer in Santa Cruz. This is a nice formula. I did do a review of this and I really liked it. You can see I've got a little bit of hard pan from powder, like, you know, using this. And it's a nice color. It's a nice formula, but it's not my favorite. And out of my powder bronzers, I'm gonna reach for some of these other ones way more than this. So I think I can give this one away just because I don't use it and I don't need to hold on to it just to hold on to it. So I do really love Makeup Cosmetics, but some of their products are just not for me. My other favorite and go-to powder bronzer that I use is Surratt. So this was sent to me in PR. This is Soleil Clair. They only have 2 shades, and that is the biggest problem with this. It is beautiful slurry formula. It is soft, it is blurring, it is silky and just melts into the skin, but they only have 2 shades. They sent me this one. This does refill, so you can pop the pan out and put a new one in. I love this. It is one of the best bronzers I've ever used. The only downside is there's only 2 shades. This has a ton of shades and rosy undertones, neutral undertones, gold undertones. Love that. This needs more shades, so more people can use it, but love the formula, and I'm happy that I have a shade that works for me. This is the Victoria Beckham Bronzing Brick. I have the shade 3, so it's supposed to be a warm shade and a contour shade. So you've got the warm and the contour. This is also refillable. Love it. It's hefty. It feels luxurious. This isn't really a contour shade for me. It's not cool enough. They're both, this one's a little more neutral and this one's a little more warm. I don't really understand that, but I love both. I use this one a lot. And then if I want a little bit more sculpt and depth, I will use this. Not to contour, but to like sculpt. But love this, love the formula, love the packaging. So we'll 100% keep that. This is also just so heavy, like. This is the cream bronzer from Fenty. This is the shade 05 Teddy in the Cheeks Out Freestyle Cream Bronzer. So this is really lovely because it has a really nice olive undertone to it. So it works really beautifully with my skin. And I've used a lot of it. It's gonna be gross, but I will show you. So there is a dip here. It is just a really lovely product. I've had this for a long time. There's definitely like brush hair and beard hair in here. I could sanitize it, but whatever. And it's just a really nice solid cream bronzer, and I would like to finish this. I have finished a bronzer before, so I just have so many that I was just using one and I finished it, and so I need to finish these. But this one is a couple years old now, and I do think it has a little bit of a smell that it didn't used to. So I think for sanitary reasons, this one will be going in the trash, but I would repurchase this. So especially now that the Mario's gone, I do have the Auric face palette coming, and that does have a cream bronzer in it, so I use this a lot. So for now, I think I'm okay, but I would repurchase this. This is great. This is also from Trixie Cosmetics. This is the Flower Power Bronzer. So I have the shade Peace Out Poppy. You get 16 grams of product in here. Really like that. It's a big powder, so you get a light bronzer, a dark bronzer, and a highlighter. The highlighter is very natural. Love this shade. This shade is a good sculpting shade, but it's a little more red than I need for my skin tone. This shade is really nice. But you can see it's much darker. The shade looks like some of the others that I've been using. So that's the middle shade. Really love that. And that is the dark shade. I don't go for more of a red toasted bronzer like that very often because my skin just gets more gold in the sun, not red. I've never had a sunburn, so I don't burn. And as I get warmer, and more in the sun, I just get more dark gold, and neutral. But I don't have another one like this. I'm gonna hold on to this. It's a lot of product. It's a good formula. It still works. I just need to actually use it. It's a good summer bronzer for me because it goes so dark. This is from The Balm. This is Bahama Mama bronzer. This is more of a contour on me. It is pretty cool toned. So I think let's see. This was sent to me from Kelly, Keep Beauty Real. And you can see, yeah, it's got a little bit more coolness to it. So it is a nice powder. I can say this is a powder contour for me. I haven't tried it that way. I tried it as a bronzer, but I think I need to either pass this along. I don't ever use this. I don't like the packaging. The color is pretty. If I could depot this, I might. I don't know if these are magnetic. But yeah, it does, it's a pretty color, but I just never reach for it. So I think this can be passed on as well. And then I've got Patrick Toth, so this is the Face Duo. For me, this is shade Sheep Sculpted. I wanted this forever. I do really like this. So this is a little bit more of a cream contour for me. It's like kind of a mix between a contour and a bronzer, kind of like the Victoria Beckham. And this is a bronzer. Really pretty, really like the formula here. I think there's a reason these were so popular and so hyped, so I will keep that. This is the Guerlain Super Bloom. So this is a bronzer and blush, so I'm putting it here, but it's kind of both. So this is the Super Bloom Sun Kissed Healthy Glow Powder. Love the color, love the way this looks on the skin, love the packaging, hate the scent. It has a very strong scent. So this is it has the Guerlain B, so you can see bronzer with the glowy blushes there. It has a very strong perfume scent that I really hate, but I love the way this looks on the skin, especially if you mix it all together. It just adds like a nice bronzer kind of effect, like that, like little bit of color from these, a little bit of warmth from the bronzer. Really beautiful. I just don't grab it as much because the scent is a lot, but that'll stay for sure. I got this. I wanted this when it came out in the States, never picked it up, and then I finally bought it when I was in Paris, and or no, I bought this in London, but love it. And then last for bronzers is the Kosas. So this was sent to me in PR. This is the Sun Show bronzer in the shade Escape. It's a baked bronzer, so you can see the dome that the powder would have had originally. It is nice. It is very dark and very glowy. It is a baked bronzer, so it is going to have a lot of glow. And you can see it is very warm and kind of red, like the Trixie, but even more so. And that's why I don't grab it, is because it has a bit of red to it that I just don't use. It doesn't look natural bronze on me. So I think, while this is really pretty, I'm tempted to hold on to it, but I just don't grab it because it is that, I like a terracotta blush, but not a terracotta bronzer all over. So I think this might get passed on. I just don't think I need that many, especially because I have the face palette coming. I have some other face palettes. So I think this is kind of in purgatory, but I think this one is just gonna go. I used it a handful of times and I liked the finish, but not the color on me. So I think, yeah, I think this one can go, and I will stick with these. Okay, so now it's time for probably the biggest part of this video, and that is blush. I have some other blushes off screen, like here and over here. And then these are all singles. I also have a bunch of face palettes, which are mostly blush over there, but we'll do those later. I am filming the next day. I didn't have time to do this all in one day. So you can see I've got a mix of brands here, some old stuff, some new stuff. I love blush, but I definitely don't need this many. So I'm gonna start with some ones that for sure I'll keep. So these are both from KJH brand. These are fairly new. And this is also a section I'll probably do some swatches of. Bronzers, there's not that much difference between them, and you can kind of see, but blush is worth swatching. So these are the KJH Soft Smudge Lip and Cheek. So you can wear these on the lips. I have done that. They're really beautiful. I have Soft Tomato and Soft Raisin. And I might be getting, I think I'm going to be getting Soft Berry soon, because I was talking to the brand and they were going to be sending me some more shades in PR. So I'm very, very, very thankful of that, because love these. But I'll do Soft Raisin first. This is my favorite. So these are a really interesting blush stick, but they're like a matte. They're not creamy like most. I mean, they're soft and silky, but they're not, they're very, very, very much soft matte. So I'll do some swatches here. So this is Soft Raisin. So you can do a really light layer, and it's like my perfect everyday kind of red brown. And then you can really build it up. If you mix it with their highlighter or something, like the serum, it gets even more bold. Really love this. Also really beautiful lipstick. So I will definitely keep that. This is Soft Tomato. I've worn this a handful of times, but you can see I've scraped it off to mix it with other stuff. But this is definitely going to be like a go-to summer shade, where it's like, it's not really a red or an orange, it's like an orange red. And I have oranges here. I don't really have any reds, but I have oranges here, but I don't have anything quite like this. So again, for sure keeping. And then the other one, surprisingly, this is probably my most reached for blush. This is the Cheeky Posh in Playground from Victoria Beckham. Really lovely formula, cream product. Still got a lot in here. I kind of want to get the shade Mini Skirt. I put it on my Christmas wish list. But this is like a light terracotta shade, and it's just such a nice formula. I wear it all the time. It's like I don't want to look like I'm wearing blush. Like for no makeup or very natural looks, or if a bold eye look and I want a very clean, like just perfect skin face, this is what I grab. I'll put it here, and you can see just like a nice beigey terracotta. It just looks really natural and beautiful on the skin. It lasts all day. The packaging's pretty. I love it. While I'm talking about cream blushes or stick blushes, I'll pull these out. These are both from Trixie Cosmetics. So same packaging as the bronzer, but in pink instead of yellow. This is the shade Pumpkin. These are really nice. You do get a lot of product here. This one's messy because it's my most used. You get 7 grams of product in here. And this is, this doesn't say. These KJH sticks are 8.5 grams. So it is, again, a heart shape. So you twist and it comes up. There's like hair and lint on this because I've used it so much. But it's just a really pretty orange, but it's kind of a sheer orange. So you can see it builds up nicely. So it's a really natural looking orange, which I like. I love an orange on my skin tone, so I will keep that. And this is the shade Sweetie, which is a little more pink. This one is pretty, but I never wear it. I'm just not a pink blush person. So I think this one I will pass along. I'll see if maybe my best friend wants this. It's just a very cool pink. But even if I'm doing a really cool toned eye look, I tend to go for something more like one of these than this. So I think this is easy to pass on. I just never wear it. But it is a really beautiful color if that's a color for you. And then here I've got 3 of the RMS blushes. I like these. I don't think they're worth the price or worth the hype. These are very, very, very hyped. Some of my friends love them. I see this brand hyped a lot. And I just, now that I've tried some stuff, I don't get it. But I have, oh, actually this is a highlighter. So I have 2 blushes. This is Maiden's Blush and this is Bohemian Girl. These are both refillable. I've also seen some icky things about the makeup artist that owns the brand, Rosemary, whatever, that I just, some kind of pseudoscience-y things that I'm just, as a scientist, I just can't. So I probably won't buy from the brand ever again. This shade is pretty, but it is very pink. It looked less pink online. I got these both for $10. So I'm happy with the $10 price, but I think these retail for like 30-something dollars, and I just don't think they're worth it. It's a baked formula, and it is, see, it's very pink. It's a very light pink with a bit of a gold sheen, and it's just not a shade that really suits my skin tone or my taste. So that is an easy declutter. And then this is Maiden's Blush. I'm a little less tired today, so hopefully that comes across. This one is pretty. It's more brown. It's like a rosy brown, and you can see I've worn away RMS logo a little bit. You can see it's much more in line with the other things that I like. It's like, it's got a nice sheen to it, so you don't need highlighter. I do use this periodically, so I will keep this. I just won't buy from the brand again. Okay, so these are both from the old House Labs. The last thing they did was a holiday collection, and it was all made in Italy, and it was like way more upscale than their other stuff. And I bought 2 of the 3 blushes. These are an all over rouge, so you can use them on the lips as well, which I have. This is the shade Bellini, and this is the shade Spritz. Bellini is a really beautiful peach. It's the Casa Gaga collection. Really love, I want them to bring a formula like this back to the brand. It's just like a perfect shade for me. I love these kind of tones. Let's see, do I have room? I'll just do them on the back of my hand. So, might take my watch off. Just orangey, but not too orange. It's kind of peachy. It's really beautiful. I'll do the other House Labs blushes I have after this. And then Spritz is like the color of an Aperol Spritz. And they're pretty, they're little. I love these. This is a little pink, but especially on my skin tone, but it's not cool baby pink. It's a little bit of a warmer pink. So I think this is good to keep as my pink blush. And then I have 2 of the blushes from the new House Labs. So this is from when they first launched at Sephora, and this is their new repackaging. So they're all this size now. And then the outside matches the inside, which I love. And I'm not too mad that they made them smaller, but this is now way smaller than the bronzer or the highlight, so that does bother me. As someone with OCD, as an autistic with OCD, I like things to be pretty uniform. But I didn't like this packaging as much as this. But this is the shade Pomelo Peach. This is still available in the main line. I don't mind that it's smaller because I'm probably never going to go through this, especially with everything I have. If it was your one blush, you could probably, it would still take a long time. This is a really beautiful, soft, silky formula. And this is very peach, but like kind of a light pinky peach. And you can see there, it does pull pretty pink on me. So again, that now looks a little more red. And I love this, but I don't need anything more pink than that. So I will keep that. And then this is my favorite. This is Fire Moon. There's also a rose, like French rosette shade that came out at the same time as this that I still kind of want. And it is a beautiful brown. It's the same silky, beautiful formula, but it's just a really nice brown. And so it's kind of like slightly more brown, but it's very similar to the Victoria Beckham. I didn't realize that's my most used powder blush, I think, now. And this is my most used cream blush. And they're basically the same shade. So I have a type. Okay, so next, just because it's sitting right here, this is the one blush I have from Rose Inc. This came in like a Sephora set where I got a bunch of random products for a set price. And the formula, it's again a lip and cheek color. This is in the shade Delphine. I was very excited for this. And it's a nice formula, but it's a little stiff of a cream. But it does see it warms up to the touch. But I just never grabbed this. So if I put it here, it's not my favorite cream formula. I definitely prefer any of these. And the color is fine, but if I'm gonna reach for a beigey nude cream like this, I'm going to pick the Victoria Beckham over this. So I think this can get passed on to someone else. And this is far too light to wear on my lips. So I'm gonna grab these over here. So these are the 3 I have from Rare Beauty. I don't grab these very often anymore. I used to use them constantly, but I don't think I'll get rid of these. These, as long as they haven't gone bad, they're gonna last forever. So this is the shade Joy. This formula is nice. It's just very pigmented, so you need like the tiniest dot, as everyone knows. Yeah, there's no smell or anything. So this is the shade Joy I'm gonna do here. Very vibrant coral Really beautiful. I mean, you could kind of mix these to get a similar shade, but really like that, and obviously very different from any of these. So I will be keeping that. This is the shade Virtue, which is a beige, and I think this was limited edition. I don't know. I don't keep track of everything Rare Beauty. Again, really beautiful. This became my most used once I got it. And you can see it's a nice, really warm beige, kind of similar to this. It's a little bit better than this. So I would just use it. You can see that it's just not, it's sheer and kind of tacky. It's just not my favorite formula or color. So I'm definitely gonna keep that. And then this is Love, which is the terracotta. I love a terracotta blush. And yeah, I adore that color. This was my most used until I got this one. These two are really beautiful together. You need the tiniest amount. So I will keep all of those. I need to actually get myself to use them a little bit more. I've got a bunch of cream blushes over here as well, but my arm is pretty full, so I'm gonna swap things out in a minute and wash off. But this is one of the few Glossier products I have. This is the Cloud Paint in the shade Dawn. This was a present from my husband. It's not my favorite formula, but it's not the worst either, so I do use it periodically, especially in the summer. But it's just a very true orange liquid blush, and it shears out really well. It is kind of a sheer formula. None of these are like a true orange like that, which is why I do keep it. Like even Pumpkin is a lot more sheer, has a bit more peach to it. So I will definitely keep that. The closest other orange that I have is this Glassy Tangelo from House Labs in their new formula came out this year. I love this. This is also a lip and cheek, and it's a little hairy. I used it a lot in the summer. It sets down, it lasts all day, but it still has ingredients in it that give it a glow and a shine, so you get a shiny cheek. And you can see it is actually very similar to the Glossier. So I don't know if I really need both. I'll hold on to the Glossier for now, because it's a very different formula. It's a little more sheer and natural looking. This is definitely glowy, but those are very similar colors if that was something you were interested in. And then these are both from Surratt. I did get these both I got this one in PR and this one I bought. So this is Barba Papa. It's a pink blush, but it's special, and it makes me think of Hot Mess Tom, and I can't say it without thinking of their Barba Papa. So I don't think I'll get rid of this, but it is a very pink blush. I think this will be my one like true pink. I don't love these kind of applicators, but let me move down here. So it's just a really pretty pink blush. The powder version is more interesting. No, maybe I will give this one to my best friend as well, and I'll keep the powder version because I think she'll get more use out of it than me. Yeah, I'm gonna give this away. It's pretty, but I just don't use these kind of pinks on my skin tone ever, and if I really want to, I have the House Labs. This one, Cantaloupe, I really love. These are a really beautiful kind of like wash of color. So you can see it's a sheer like warm golden peach is how they describe it. And it's like a watercolor paint on the skin. It's just really beautiful. It's a little more peach, it's a little less pink than that. It's a little on par with that one. Really beautiful. It's a little more peach than this is orange. So I love it. It makes a nice base layer, like put a light layer of this on and then blend other stuff on top. So I think, yeah, I'll keep those and I'll give away Barba Papa. I just don't ever use pink blush. So I'm gonna wash off my arms and then we'll get to the rest of these. So these are the rest of my powder blushes that aren't in a face palette, and then I've got cream blushes that we can get back to over there. This one is from Bare Minerals. This is one of their bronzers. This was given to me by Cam Clove Room. They decluttered this and brought it to me when they were visiting Seattle. This is the shade Kiss of Rose. I've used this a handful of times and it's pretty, but I just don't think it's for me. It's just a really shiny, almost metallic rose. And I think it does pull a little metallic on the cheek. You can see there. It's a pretty color, but I think it's just, yeah, I just don't grab. I like the tone, I just don't like how shiny it is. Like it's almost like full-on highlighter, and I just don't like the way it looks on my cheek as much. So I think I will pass this along. And then this is from Florasis or Florasis. I'm not actually sure how you pronounce it. They did send this to me in PR. I've gotten PR from them a handful of times. I didn't get their last launch in PR, but I've gotten a lot of other stuff. This is a really interesting formula. It's like powder, but almost a cream. Very silky soft. Really, really lovely formula. And again, it's a little pink. It's like a peony shade, but it's not, it's a warm pink. So I will keep this. Wow, I can't talk. It's been the longest week. I don't use it all the time, but it is really pretty, so I will keep that. This is from Trixie Cosmetics. This came out with the Horse Girl palette, which I do have, and this is the shade Show Pony, and it is very pink. And these are pretty pigmented as well. And it's very pink, but there's a slight berryness to it that actually works a little bit better. It's less Barbie pink like some of those other ones, and it has that like just a little bit of berry that sometimes when I want a cool tone I grab on it. But I don't grab this very often, but it is a really like nice formula, and if I want a berry blush, I will keep it for that. So I'm gonna hold on to that. These three are all from ColourPop. I don't buy from ColourPop anymore, but I've kept these for a very long time. So let's see if I can part with them. They've managed to stay through other declutters, even though I rarely use them. So this is the shade Good Luck Charm from the Mulan collection. And it's a beige blush with this gold sparkle in it. It's really pretty. Still feels nice. And it's really soft. Yeah, it's really soft. I feel like I've kept it because the scent, like I love Mulan, I love the packaging, I love the color, but I don't actually grab this ever, and it's really sheer on my skin. And I think my face is darker than my underarm or my like forearm. So I think I can, and like, you can see this is darker and my face is darker than this, but I think I'm gonna finally pass that along. I think my sister-in-law or someone will get a good use out of that. This one is from the Sailor Moon, the first Sailor Moon collection they did. I think they did a second one. This is Cat's Eye. It's a pink blush I don't ever really use. Again, I don't really like pink blush on my skin. And it is a baby pink. But I think this will be the one that I want to keep just because it's Sailor Moon and I love this packaging, and I love Sailor Moon. And it's got Luna. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this one pretty much just because of the packaging and the vibe. But yeah, it's not the color. And then this is Meteorite. This came out, I've had this since like 2020, 2021. And it's a really pretty, some people would say this is kind of a bronzer shade. There's a divot in it because I used it so much. It's another beige. And it is a really pretty natural beige color, but really soft. Actually, let me put it next to Fire Moon. I feel like I'm gonna use Fire Moon more than it. Yeah, I'm gonna use Fire Moon over this. And okay, so I think I left off by just saying that I'm gonna use the House Labs more than this and get rid of this. My husband came home from the store, so I had to pause. But yeah, this is a pretty color, but not my favorite blush formula. It's decent, especially for the price, but I'm gonna pass that along. And then the last of the powder blushes are here, and then I've got some creams over here. So these are both from Odin's Eye. I haven't bought from Odin's Eye in a while. These are from the Solman collection. I bought 2 of them. This is Sienna Luster. I don't know if these are still available. I know they just had more blushes in another launch. I just haven't been drawn into any of the color stories. Love the packaging. It's just really well done. This one had like a spray overlay. Like it looked like this whole side had a different color to it, but it was just an overlay that as soon as you used it, like came off, which I don't like. Really pretty embossing. It's kind of an orangey color, but it's kind of a metallic orange. I'm gonna put it up here by this. Like you can see, it's basically a peachy orange highlight, and I never grab it because of that. So I think I'm gonna get rid of that. The longer I have this bronzer sitting here, the more I might hold on to it and try it again. It's gonna go in the maybe pile. This, yeah, that's so bright. And then this is the shade Orange Sunny. And this is just a matte orange blush. I remember it being very pigmented. It's been a while since I used it. It's a really pretty color though. I will keep this. Yeah, that's a really pretty orange. There's like a hint of brown there, like it's not bright orange. So I will hold on to that. And hopefully now that I'm getting rid of a bunch of stuff and can reorganize, I'll actually use it more. Okay, and then these are all luxury blushes. So these are 2 from Surratt. I was sent these. I'll do this one first. I keep it in the sleeve so that I know which one's which, because otherwise they're the same. And this is the pink blushes. So I don't remember the name of this one. This is Barba Papa, and I will keep this. I don't really use pink blush, but I love this Surratt formula, and I love Barba Papa. This Barba Papa it's special. It's got a bit of a blue sheen to it, and it's a slurry formula that just kind of melts into the skin. This one is really bright, and I never really use it. But they're not magnetic, they're stuck in with a sticker, so I can't pull it out. But here is Barba Papa, and it's got that blue sheen to it. And then there is the other shade, and it's a really pretty baby pink, but I'm really only keeping it because I like Barba Papa. And Barba Papa is really unique, so the formula itself is beautiful. So if you ever see a color you like, 100% worth it, in my opinion. And then these I asked for. Those they just sent me, these I asked for. These are the more orange shades. I love an orange blush. One of these I think is Cantaloupe, and one is another one. I don't remember off the top of my head. They're just so silky, they're so pretty. I'll put them up here by this. So as you can see, it's like a brighter peach blush. Those 2 would pair nicely together. You can kind of see how that's like a burnt orange. And then this one has a glow to it, but it's not as straight up metallic as this. And because they're that slurry formula and they just kind of melt into the skin, as you buff it, you just get like a healthy glow. Really love those. So these are for sure staying. I do have a code with Surratt. I'll have all my codes in the description box like normal. And I'm going through so much, I probably won't link too much, but there'll be codes and some links in the description box if you're interested in any of these particular. And then these are all of my Suku blushes. I think I'll do these on the back of my hand before I go wash up again. So I bought my first Suku product after finally getting to try them in London this summer, and I fell in love, and now I have all of these. So this one is the Suku Pure Color Blush in 138. This is a discontinued shade, but I think you can still get. Really love it. The brushes in here are a nice quality if you do want to use it. So you've got more orange to yellow, kind of like a burnt ready orange to more yellow tones. Really beautiful formula. I'll try the brush. So you can see you do get a lot of the yellow, but then if you mix it, you get a little bit more of that. And it's just, yeah, I'm not gonna use the brush for this. I'm gonna kind of swirl, but you can kind of pick up more yellow or more of this color. And it's just a really beautiful orangey yellow sheen, depending on how much you get. It's pretty subtle, but it does build up nicely. And if you get more of this side, you can see you get a little bit more color. So very happy I was finally able to get that. I've been lusting after that for like a year. This is the Blurring Color Blush in 103. So this is limited edition and came out with the fall collection. And it's really beautiful, like sepia brown to pink. So you can do one or both. I like to swirl because my brush is gonna pick up everything. And you can see it's kind of a browny mauve. It's just so pretty. If I pick up just a little bit more of the pink there, a little bit more of this, you get a little more depth, but swirled together, it's just a really beautiful browny mauve. It's almost kind of like a bruise color, but in like a flattering way. So love this formula. It is just a really beautiful powder blush. This one I think is also the same formula. Yes, this is 05, so this is a permanent color. This is when they released this summer when I was in London. So this is a similar thing, but just a lighter tone. So when I saw that that one was a little darker, I had to get it. Soft, blurring, beautiful. This one's like pinky beige. These two are also really beautiful together. Love this formula. I would love more like actual brown tones. That would be beautiful if Suku could do that. And then these are both the Melting Blush. This is my favorite blush from them. These are discontinued, but there are some still around. It's more of a, they couldn't get the ingredients to make them easily anymore, so they had to stop. This is the shade Melting Blush in 06. They all have a Japanese name as well, but they're sorted by numbers, and it is a beautiful orange. These are like a cream to powder, and it just literally melts into the skin. They're so pretty. I wanted this one forever, and I did a Selfridges order just, well, I bought more than just this, but that was like something I had to get. I think it was for my birthday. They had the fall collection come out around my birthday. My husband said buy it as a birthday present, and I bought this one too. And then this is 08, and it is a really beautiful brown. This is probably my other, next to the Victoria Beckham and the House Labs, this is the color I use the most. And you can just see that warm brown. It's so beautiful. It's a little bit darker than the others. It's like my perfect shade. And I'll put it next to the House Labs so you can kind of see the House Labs is brighter. So I love those together too. I just love these formulas. I love Suku products in general. I think they're one of the best. They're one of my favorite brands now that I've tried them. Okay, I'm gonna go wash this off and then we can get to the last of the cream blushes. So these that have been sitting here, these are from Melt. And this is one of the best cream blush formulas out there. I don't think I'm gonna get rid of any of these, but let's watch them and see. So this is the shade Daydreamer. These are the cream blush lights. I have a bunch of them. Really love these. This is a really beautiful cinnamon tone. Really love this formula. It looks really dark, but it blends so pretty. And I think I don't need the Bare Minerals because I think they're kind of similar. Wow, I can't open this. I think they're a little similar. You can see how just shiny that is. This has a glow, but it looks really healthy because it's got that like little bit of sheen that it disappears on the skin. Just love this top. I mean, I love a red brown, if you couldn't already tell. And then this is Golden Hour. Oh, this is one of my most used. Really beautiful peach. These are just so beautiful on the skin and they last all day. So it's got a nice sheen to it. Kind of similar to other things I have, but the formula is different. This is Sandy Cheeks. This one's a little more matte, and you can see I've got a big dent in this. This is my most used of these. You can almost see pan. And it's, let me put it here. It's just the perfect cream peachy blush. I love it. It's so pretty. These together, beautiful. My problem right now is where these are stored in this thing is with my lips and some other products and my eyeshadow, and not with the rest of these in the bins that are over here. So I don't grab them as much, but they don't, putting them in a bin is kind of a pain because they're small and slide around. So I just need to remember to actually pull them out more than I do. This is the shade Sundown. This is one of the other darker ones. It's also glowy. There's a lot of brush hair in it. Really beautiful. And these seem pretty shiny, but on the skin, they just have like a beautiful glow. It's that like bronzy gold, kind of blush and highlighter all at once. And then polished. This is supposed to be a grapefruit color, I believe, and is more of a matte, but it's got a bit of pink to it, which I guess grapefruit does. It's not as shiny as that, but it's not as matte as that one. Love that. And then this is the shade Links. This is another glowy one. This one also has a pretty big dent in it. And I'll put it right here, and you can see it's a little bit lighter than that bronzy gold. I love these so much. I really need to use them more. And then the last one in here is a cream blush and highlighter, so I'll just do it here. This is from the Nightmare Before Christmas collection. This is the only one that's at risk of being decluttered. I love the packaging. I enjoy Nightmare Before Christmas. This is the shade Deadly Nightshade. It's more the color. The formula is nice. I just don't grab this color very much. So you got another kind of pinky shade, and then you've got the highlight. I'll do the highlight with the highlighters. So I'll just put it back right here. And it is a really pretty pink blush though. Yeah, I'll do the highlighter just so that I can. The highlighter is very creamy and balmy and just has that sparkly glow. So yeah, this is, I think, gonna go in Purgatory for me. It's different from the rest, but I also just don't grab it. I got it because I bought the whole collection, but I think that's the most likely to get decluttered out of any of these, or the only one. And then the last section is some cream blushes from Finding Ferdinand. So they are really nice because the formula is lovely and you can make your own shade. They have pre-made ones, but you can also just custom make any shade you want. You can even put a hex code in. Really love that about them. These are all from their collaborations with Khaki from Khaki Reviews Beauty. We used to be friends, but similar to Hope Miss Tom, I am no longer friends with her or talk to her, and actually it was blocked. But I do really like this formula, so I don't use them on camera really because I don't want to talk about her after the incident this summer, but I love the formula and they're a part of this, so I'm going to talk about them. So this is the one I've used the most. This is the shade Macchiato. You can see it's been used a lot. It's just a really beautiful brown, but like a warm red brown. And again, they last all day. A really beautiful formula. I'd recommend checking out the formula if you're ever in the market for these or doing an order. I don't think I have a code of signing for Nan. I might now. They have sent me some PR. But then this is the shade Spritz. It's like a cream version of the House Labs one. Really pretty in the summer, really vibrant. I really like that. The more I look at the melt one, the more I'm like, I don't need this. I'm not gonna use it. I have other sparkly balm highlighters, and I just don't need that pink. Especially when I'm kept some others. And then I've got these. And then these are all a little more cool tones. So this is Cozy. It is purple, and it's a little stiffer. Actually, I like the formula of the other ones more. Really pretty purple blush. I'm gonna use a cool blush. I'm gonna grab this over the melt, I think. Purple looks really well on an olive undertone. And these are more cool beige, pinky beiges. Let's see if I'm gonna keep all of these. So this I had to buy the whole set because it was all that was available. Again, it's cool, but a little more purple than pink. So that is why I like that one now that I remember. And then I think this is like full on purple. This one's a little more sheer. And it's very purple. I'm gonna move up to the back of my hand. And I really do like that. I like that color a lot. I think this one I'm the least likely to use, High Noon. So I'm gonna put that off to the side. This is, I think, the lightest shade from that set. Let me wipe off my fingers. This is just a pale pinky beige. Yeah, it's pretty, but I don't wear that often. And I'll put High Noon next to it. It's a good, I'm not really wearing a color, but I don't know if I need it. And the last one is Dusk. And this is like a red. So I'm gonna keep those. I'm gonna keep the purple because it's really unique. I think I might pass along these two. I do really like the formula though. And I've gotten rid of everything else that's kind of cool like that. So I'll hold on to them for now, but they're in purgatory and might go to my best friend. Okay, so that is everything for blush. Let me grab highlighters now. So here are all of my highlighters. There's quite a few, and I don't really wear powder highlighter very much anymore. I don't think I'm gonna get rid of all of them because who knows how my taste will change, but in the last year or so, I've just stopped wearing powder highlight at all. Unless I'm going for like a fun sparkly look. I tend to do a liquid or cream under my blush as kind of a glow from within. I do really like the color of some of these, and I've used them and I'm like, that's pretty. It's just more highlight than I want. I do really want the Hindash highlighters, but because I don't really wear powder highlight anymore, I've held off on buying them. So, you can see I have a bunch of the Kaleidos ones over here. I don't know if they make all of these anymore. I used to wear these all the time, but I used to also wear like bright, colorful makeup every day. And just 36-year-old me has different tastes than 33-year-old me. So let's do, I'll just kind of move some of these off to the side. So let's do, let's do this one first. This is from Chanel. This is one of their Balm Essentials. This is the only one I have, and it's a limited edition shade that I don't think is available anymore, called Mermaid Glow. And I saw it used by a few people, and I just I had to try it, so it's my first and only Chanel product. I do kind of want to try another shade of this, and there's other Chanel products I want to try, but this is what I have. It is just a balm, but it is very sparkly for Chanel. A lot of the other ones in this formula are more a sheer color, but if I put it here, you can see it's a wet glow. If you do it right, you get mostly just a wet glow, but you do see there's like pink and gold sparkle, and that can be apparent in person, but also not. And it is a balm, it doesn't sit down or anything. It's really pretty. It's not something I use all the time, but when I have used it, I really loved it. So it's for sure staying, plus it was expensive. These are all my Surratt highlighters, and I will probably get rid of some of these. So they sent me 5 of the 6, and I bought 1 of them. So these are, I'll do these ones first. So these are the Torch Lumiere. So they sent me 2 of these in PR. This sent me these 2, Rose Diamante and D'Or, so gold and rose diamond. And then I bought this shade, which is just diamond. So these are really beautiful. They're expensive. They're like $56. You do get 11 grams of product, and they do have literal diamond and gold in them, like crushed diamond. And they're really beautiful. This is the one I bought myself after trying these. I really do like this shade, but I wanted this. It's a little more neutral champagne, and it's really beautiful. It's one of my favorite highlighters. So if I swipe it here, so it does look like, if you look closely, there is some sparkle, and it looks sparkly here, but on the skin, this just gives the most beautiful wet champagne, and you can see how this is a balm and this is not when you put them next to each other. Love it, 100% keeping. This is the pink version, and this one is pretty, but again, I don't use pink highlighters or pink on me very often. And you can see it pulls a little icy on my skin tone, and my forearm is lighter than my face, so it pulls even icier on my face. So I think because of the undertone, I'm gonna give this one to my best friend. She's used it, she liked it, so, and I know she's never gonna buy this for herself, so that's gonna go to her along with Barba Papa. And then this one is D'Or, which is gold, and it is a very yellow gold, and it is really pretty. Works well on my skin when I have especially a warmer look. This one is gonna be like a not really there, and this one does have a warm glow. So really nice in the summer when I turn a little more golden. So I'll be holding on to that for sure. And then these are their liquid highlighters that came out in the last year, I don't remember when, and they're really beautiful. They're the same kind of component as the liquid blush. So there's Chi Chi, Lame, and Frou Frou. So Frou Frou is an iridescent pink. So it's white with a bit of a pink sheen. It's kind of clumping there, but it looks really beautiful. That's just because there's some dried stuff on the sponge. It is really pretty on the skin, but that iridescent pink is not something that I ever grab for. And I do have a powder version. So again, going to my bestie. She's getting all the pink cheek products for someone that doesn't really wear makeup very often. This is Lame, and is the more champagne, and it's just a beautiful champagne. I'll have a little bit more come up. Don't love the component, but I love the formula. There it goes. So you can see when it's not a dried bit, you get a beautiful champagne glow. Love the formula. So definitely holding on to that. And then Chi Chi is more of a bronze and works really well on my skin tone as kind of a natural like glow on top of blush and bronzer. It looks really dark here, but it shears out so beautifully. So I'm definitely keeping that one. And then let's do the other like creams and sticks. So This is from Violet FR. This is the Balm Shine Universal Highlighter. This was sent to me in PR, and it is a really beautiful formula. It's just kind of that universal champagne shine. A little bit of peach to it. It's really pretty. You can use it all over your face. I like it. I don't feel the need to get rid of it. This is the Victoria Beckham version. This is the Reflect in Pearl. This was given to me. This went from Home as Tom to Cam Clove Room to me. And neither of them thought it was the right product for them, and I love it. But, and I've used a decent amount of it. It's a little smoother than the Violet, a little more balmy, and they do make a gold, like a bronzy version of this that I want, but I obviously don't need. And it is, you can see it's a little more just like a sheer balmy glow. And so it's less bright and has less of that beige, like peachy beige champagne that the Violet does. It's just like a clear glow. So I really like it. You can use it on the lips as well. It's really hard not to buy the other color. And then this is from Isamaya. This is the Dazzle Up Highlighter in Sun Chaser. There's only the one shade. I love the Stupid Horse packaging. It's very lightweight. Like, this feels significantly heavier. So I wish it was more weighted, but it's camp and weird. It is a little hard to open sometimes, and it's, I thought, kind of similar to the Victoria Beckham. Okay, or not the Victoria Beckham. Yeah, it's a little similar to the Victoria Beckham, or I think the most similar is the Chanel. It's a little less shiny and wet looking as the Chanel, but it is like a balm texture, and it has like a gold pearl running through it, so it gets kind of a wet effect. It's really pretty. And it has some skincare ingredients in it that are part of the price. I don't know if I would repurchase this one, but I don't feel the need to get rid of it either. Like, I would probably repurchase the Chanel or the Victoria Beckham. I would repurchase the Surratt. I don't think I'd repurchase this, but I also don't want to get rid of it either. So, and then once it's gone, I'm keeping the horse for sure. And then this is my liquid highlighter from Lisa Eldridge. You can use this all over, kind of like the Aura Glow Lust, and I could put the Aura Glow Lust in here as well. This is in Solar Light. Really beautiful kind of golden apricot color is what it's described as, and this has her Film X in it, so it self-sets. I'm gonna switch the back of my hand. And it's just really beautiful. I will put this down before I do my other makeup and let it kind of set to the skin, so it lasts all day, looks super natural and beautiful. And then I will do concealer and blush and bronzer and then all of that. And it's so pretty. You could put it all over the face, but I like to put it where I want it. You know, it's beautiful. I will 100% repurchase this once it's gone. I've used about half of it. And the minute it's gone low, I'm buying another one. And I will put a little bit of the Aura Glow Lust right there so you can kind of see. Mine is messy. You can see that's more gel-like, thick, and a little less shiny. So I will use Glow Lust all over the face. I don't think I would use this all over the face unless I really wanted to be glowy. And then this is from KJH brand. So this is the serum, Hyper Shine Serum. This goes with the highlighter right here. You can buy them separately or together. It's just a balmy, glossy mix-in, so you can wear it by itself, or you can mix it in with this or the blush or anything else. I really like this. I think it's really interesting that she took basically this, like a liquid formula like this, and split it into components so you can mix it yourself. I'll put it right here. It's just a clear gloss, really shiny. You can wear it by itself or mix it in with things. I enjoy it. I like to mix and play. I often wear lipstick as blush. I will mix this with that as well. I like that. It's just really pretty. And then this is the shade Light Copper. I think they're sending me Light Gold, which is a little light, gonna look a little brighter on me. Just a really beautiful cream highlight. This one blends into my skin really well. You can see there, and I think light gold will be a little bit more contrast and shine more like highlight, but it's a little more like the Auric. It's just a really lovely formula. Highly recommend checking it out. I think they're like 20 something. You get a lot of product, totally worth it in my opinion. And it's not as yellow gold as this or as bronze as this, so it kind of is in the middle and a little more natural. Okay, and then the last cream is this. This is from Ritual de Fille. This is the Rare Light Cream Illuminizer in Borealis. This was a collaboration with my friend Andromeda on Instagram. And it is a natural glow from within highlight, but green, which as I love, especially as an olive undertone. So it really works with my skin. It doesn't look like weird on me. I mean, I wouldn't really care if it did, but it looks really natural. Like obviously there's a green hint, but when you use it on the face with other products, it just, there's like that slight green, but it still somehow looks really natural. It's not sparkly, it sets down pretty well. Really love it. Really proud of Andromeda for doing that collaboration. So as someone who doesn't wear a lot of highlighter, I've only gotten rid of 2. Next, this is for sure going. This is the Rare Beauty highlight in Exhilarate. These, I feel like you either love them or hate them. I bought this when it launched. I did a review of it, and I don't like it. It is a baked formula. It's very reflective. It's just too shiny. It's just like, it's another really beautiful like baked formula, but it's so reflective. It's just like too bold. It looks okay here, but I think on the cheek, it's always like a very noticeable, intense, almost metallic highlight. And I don't like that look. And I've never liked the way this looks on my skin. It's just too much of a highlight for me. So this is gonna go to someone who likes bold highlight more than I do. This is the other RMS product I have. This is in Prosecco Fizz. This is the Hydra Dew Luminizer. Like I said, I don't think I'd buy from the brand again, and I don't think these are worth the $40 or whatever they are, but I paid $10 and I'm happy with it. It's the same baked formula, but it's just a really nice champagne, and it looks really natural on the skin. So I'll put it right here, and you can see it has like that gold to it, like a more of a gold champagne, but it melts in a much more natural look than something like the Rare Beauty. So I'm definitely gonna reach this before I reach for this ever. And you can see the serum is still serum. It's kind of soaking into my skin, but it's still wet. So it's definitely, especially if you have dry skin, I think you'd like that texture a lot. But yeah, I'm gonna keep this. I'm glad we're getting close to the end because this is gonna be a long video. So I've got 2 of the Haus Labs highlighters. I love the packaging. I do wish there was a way to distinguish them better, but it's pretty. I honestly wish they were smaller like the blush, because I'm never gonna go through these. This is the shade Peach Quartz. Really pretty, natural. It's another Italian baked formula. Just gives a really natural glow to the skin. I still have some sparkle from the Chanel up here, but it's just really lovely. It's a little more, it's got a little bit more to it than the RMS, so I'll put that there so you can see them side by side. So you can see a little more peach and a little brighter. The RMS is really natural looking, which is why I like it. And then this is Fire Opal. This one, that one I bought. This one I won in a giveaway from the brand. I don't get PR from Haus Labs, sadly. I would love to. And it's basically a blush, a really shiny blush. It's not something I use very often, but it's pretty and the formula is nice. And you can see it's got that pinky base, but it's got a lot of gold. It's got more gold than some of the others that I've swatched. And so in the couple times a year that I want to use it, it's really pretty. And then the this was my favorite highlight for a long time. This is from the same House Labs Cosmetica collection they did before they left Amazon. This was made in Italy. These ones are made in Italy as well. And I think this is what they based these formulas on. And this is just a really beautiful gold. But I think there is a shade in the new line, and you can see I wore away the logo. I think there is a shade in the new line that is the same as this that I just didn't get because I didn't need it because I have this one. And it just, this looks more like highlight on my skin, and this buffed in looks more like just a glow on my face. So I love it, love the formula. When I do grab a powder highlight, it tends to be that one, or the RMS actually. This is from What's Up Beauty. This is one of the Serengeti highlighters. So they sent me both of these in PR, very grateful for that. The owner is a really sweet person. We talk on Instagram, and I'm very thankful she sent this. There was a lighter version that was a little more pink, and then this one, I gave the lighter one to my best friend. But you can see it's got more of a pink highlight here and a champagne here. It's a really lovely formula, very similar to the other Italian-made formulas right here. So you can see kind of a champagne, it's similar to the House Labs, and then like a slightly more gold one. So there's a little more pink, a little more gold. You can mix them together. I don't need it because I have all of these, but I still like it, so I'm gonna keep it. Next, in another Italian-made formula, this is Pat McGrath. I think this was a limited edition one. This is Lunar Nude. Came out, I think, with one of the holiday collections like 3 years ago. Really pretty. Another kind of champagne-y baked Italian formula. I have a type, apparently. And it's a little more reflective than the others. And there's a little bit more of that peach. That's kind of like in this House Labs one, but it's a little smoother. This has some sparkle. Really lovely formula. Again, I just don't wear powder highlight very much, and I could probably downsize to just one of these, but I'm not going to. And then this is from Odin's Eye. It's again from the Solmana collection. This is in the shade Moon Talk. Don't know if this is available. Again, love the packaging. And it is a green highlight. And it is very green. I'm actually gonna swatch it next to Borealis. Obviously a different formula, but they're both very similar tones. So here is the Odin's Eye, and here is the Borealis. And I think it looks like it's gonna be glittery, but it's not. And if I want a bolder green for a very specific look, it's got that like a base color to it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. I don't use it very often, but I'm gonna keep it. And then this is the last one. This is Digital Dust Highlighter. Oh, I've got the Kaleidos, never mind. Okay, Digital Dust Light Highlighter and True Love Never Dies from Melt. This is also part of the Nightmare Before Christmas collection. And it is a pink to gold. And it's got Jack and Sally there. And it's really pretty. It's again kind of like the Odin's Eye. I don't use it very often, but I got it last year and I have used it since I filmed that review and went through that testing phase. I'm gonna hold on to it. I like the vibe, I like the movie. And it is pretty. I don't think I have any other that are quite like that. And then last for the highlight, before we get into face palettes and then I'm done, is my Kaleidos. So I haven't bought anything from Kaleidos in a long time, but I used to buy them all the time. I have you will see some of their eyeshadow palettes in the eyeshadow palette declutter when I go to film that this weekend. I don't think I'm gonna get rid of any of these because I don't know if you can get them anymore. And I just feel like when I want to use these are fun. So starting off with Ray Rider. This is the most neutral. It's a powder champagne. You can see I fully ruined the embossing, and there's a big tip in it because I used to wear this all the time. The packaging's kind of clunky, but also really cute. And it's a little more white champagne. It's a little brighter than the others. Solar Sailor is a yellow. Obviously, I've not used this one as much because I just don't go for colorful highlighter anymore. But really pretty. Also nice on the eye. I think I'll keep all of these. Mars Melter is a red, like red pink, I think. Yeah, kind of similar to the Melt. I'll put it actually next to the Melt. Okay, it is much more bold and red and sparkly. So these are both pretty smooth. So those are ones I used a lot. This one is sparkly, so you see red sparkle. I've used it for specific looks, and I think I could use it on the eyes in a nice look, but it's not one I grab. And then Diamond Dasher is another sparkly one. It's like a champagne, but sparkly, and I think it's got a bit of pink to it. Yeah, so there's like a bunch of pink and champagne sparkle in there. Not one I'm gonna grab very often, but like, I used to love it so much and love these so much, it's kind of hard to part in case my preferences in the next year or so change and I feel like wearing them all the time again. This is Star Surfer. Again, another, I think, more pinky. Oh yeah, this one's like a white to pink. Yeah. Not one that I'm gonna use much, but if anything, I could probably get rid of these. And then Space Age Prophecy. This was my favorite highlighter for so long. I dropped it and broke it and had to repress it, so it's ugly. And it is a multi-chrome highlighter, but it works on my skin tone because it's iridescent and it has kind of a green to peach to champagne. It works on my undertone really well. And I was so sad when I broke it. It also makes a really beautiful eyeshadow. Not something I'm wearing on a daily basis anymore. I used to. But it's, yeah, you can see it's really opaque. It's basically a multi-chrome eyeshadow, and there's that like bronzy orange tone, and then it flashes green in certain angles. I'll put it, oh, you can see it kind of on my finger. It's really pretty. Again, not something I'm wearing very often. I don't think I've used it in the last year, but I can't part with it. So I don't wear powder highlight very often, but they're all slightly different undertones and look different on the skin. And in the case that I suddenly decide I love powder highlight again, I don't want to get rid of these and then want to buy new ones again. So I'm gonna hold on to these. Maybe next year I'll get rid of like some of these more champagne-y powders that I don't use all the time, but for now, these are all staying. Okay, so last section for this video is face palettes. I did also just realize I forgot to include my color corrector in the concealers. It's from Beauty Pie. It was sent to me. I really like it. It's the only color corrector I have, so. But here are all my face palettes. This should be a little faster. I don't think I'm gonna swatch everything. So first, I'll do my newest. This is the Auric palette. This is the shade High Noon. These just came out about a month ago. I waited a little while to see what other people thought and couldn't wait anymore and bought it. I love it. I used it today. It came yesterday. So today was my first time using it. This balm, first impression wise, really lovely kind of golden olive bronzer, really pretty orange, but not like orange blush. Orange and red, it's just really nice. I will use this in a video and have swatches and stuff. The highlight's really pretty, and the balm is pretty similar to the Chanel, just like clear. So I've only used it once and swatched it once, so I will have more thoughts later, but I love the packaging. I love it. I'm really happy I got it. This is my oldest. This was the very first makeup thing I ever bought. I had some makeup gifted to me, and then I went to Nordstrom, and one of my friends was a makeup artist there, and they worked at Urban Decay, And so they did my makeup and then sold me some products, and this was one of them. It's an Urban Decay Stay Naked like face palette bronzer blush highlight. I've used this recently. It still works. There's big dents in it because this was the only products like these I had for like a year. Really pigmented blush, peachy color. The bronzer's nice. It's a little sheer but builds up nicely, and this is a really natural highlight. Yeah, I have used this recently and it still works, so I'm gonna keep it. This is the face palette from Floraces. This was sent to me in PR. This is the Into the Wild palette. Oh, this is an eyeshadow palette. I meant to grab the face palette just a second. Okay, so this is the face palette from Floraces. This is the Floraces or Floraces Flowery Makeup Relief Palette. Each shade is meant to be a mythical creature from mythology. So there is a powder highlight, like a brightening powder, a highlight that's really reflective, a contour. I think it's supposed to be a bronzer, but on me it's a contour, and a blush. It's pretty. I have used this on my face. It also makes a really nice eyeshadow palette, like sculpt the eye, add a little bit of inner corner, put that on the lid. So I keep this with my eyeshadow palettes, which is why I grabbed the wrong one. Packaging, gorgeous. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this. I do use this more as an eyeshadow, but it's pretty. The formulas are lovely, packaging's lovely. Again, was sent to me in PR, but yeah, I have no reason to get rid of this right now. This I will be getting rid of. This is the Natasha Denona My Dream Cheek Trio. I don't mind this. So there is a powder highlight here and a cream highlight base. So you can use this as a really natural highlight or put it under this for more impact, but this is pretty impactful as is. The blush is, as you can see, pretty cool toned and just like fine. So this is like perfect for her or someone with like a light to light medium skin tone, but for me, it's just not great and I never use it for that reason. I'll sometimes grab the highlights, but as you saw, I don't need these. So this can go to someone who will get better use out of it. This is one of the only Pat McGrath blush I have. So this is the Divine Blush and Glow Trio from Amber Allure. This is a holiday one from a few years ago. I really liked this when I got it, and I really like this shade, Paradise Venus, but I never use this shade. And that's the problem with face palettes. This is why Tom doesn't buy them. Hope Miss Tom. Really like this shade. The highlight's pretty. I never use this, so I think this is gonna stay for now, but it's gonna go into purgatory because I do really like this shade, and so I might end up just buying this by itself and then I'll get rid of this, but until then, I'm gonna keep this. This is from Salt New York. This is one of their quads. I've had this for a while, and I haven't used it in a while. I have used the blushes recently, so this is a Sneaky Bomb, a highlight, a blush, and a blush. I don't think that either of these blushes are available for anymore. They were limited edition. I did use them recently. They remind me a lot of the Auric formula, and I heard that from other people, which is why I reused this. These are old and definitely past their expiration date, but I think I will keep the blushes. You can see some of the Sneaky Bomb got on here. I'm gonna keep these. I will probably declutter this Sneaky Bomb. It's a good shade, and you can see I used a lot of it, but it's old. And my problem with this is that it looks beautiful. It looked like skin, covered everything that I needed, even my complexion. It was beautiful, but it only lasted on me for a few hours before it would just disappear. So I took this on vacation once to Canada, and I would like put it on and we'd go out for dinner, and then we'd go out for lunch, and then I'd come home and I'd reapply before we went out to dinner. Like it wasn't the perfect formula for me, but the shade is really nice. Especially at the time, it was like the middle of winter. I could probably go one shade up most of the year. And I'm interested to try their concealer, and I would try this again, but I think this is old enough that I probably should toss this one. But we'll see. But yeah, I like Salt New York, and they're pretty affordable. I like Kiki, the owner. My allergies seem to be kicking in about something, I don't know what, but yeah. Salt New York, especially if you're interested in the orc, this is a much more affordable version of the same kind of formula. Okay, so a really quick keep are my Hourglass palettes. So we have this mini. Elephant was my first one. This was a couple years ago, and I really do love this one. I've made a big dent in this finishing powder and a little bit in this one. This highlighter is really blinding. I don't really ever use it, but the bronzer's nice. The blushes both pull a little pink on me. I do use this one, I don't really use that one. My husband will use this, and he'll use this blush. Love the packaging, love the formula. They are that beautiful, like, give you that lit from within, candlelit kind of glow. I didn't buy this year's because I have all of these, but it was really hard not to. This is from last year. This is the snake palette, although we customized it. So I have snake, tiger, and jellyfish, and owl, and I don't remember which one's what, but I think, yeah, snake is really beautiful. I can use the bronzer. It's a little different from that one. It's got the same finishing powder, which is nice because I did dim light is in a lot of them, and I've really flattened that one. My husband has used, I've used this blush a couple times. My husband likes it. I like these two. They're a little more coral. So I will grab it for that. I've traveled with these a bunch. This is the Tiger palette. This is the darkest one I own. And it's a good summer one for me. It's pretty blushy. So this is technically a finishing powder, but I can use it as a bronzer. As you can see, it looks like bronzer on my skin tone. I think this is a highlighter. Yeah, so this is a highlighter. It's pretty, it's less blinding than this one. This is also a highlighter, but it's so dark that it's like a glowy brush. I don't use this, but I love this orange one, and I love this one. So I'll use this as a bronzer, and I'll use these 3 shades a lot, and then sometimes I'll use this. They're just really bright highlights, and as you've probably guessed, I don't use those that often. This shade I have used, but it's the least used in this, but it's really pretty. I'm glad Hourglass is working on being, every year they're like a little bit more inclusive. They could do it faster and better, but I appreciate that they're doing more. This is the jellyfish, so I don't remember if this is actually the jellyfish on the inside or not, because you could customize these. But I love this one. I've used this one quite a bit. Really good finishing powder. Elephant's probably my most used, but this is second. So really good bronzer. Again, really blinding highlight that I don't grab very often. And then these blushes are all beautiful on my skin tone. A little more pink, a little more coral, and this one's like glowy, highlightery. Love this. Also, this is my favorite of the packaging next to the elephant. And then this is the owl. This is technically my husband's, but I do use this too. So he got this because he kept stealing the elephant from me for those couple shades, but he really likes this, so for these shades over here. So he'll use this finishing powder because he is a redhead and so very fair, especially compared to me. So he'll use this as a finishing powder. He'll use these two as blushes, and I think he's used this highlight, but he's not really a highlight person. He's more of a finishing powder and blush, a little bit of concealer, no makeup kind of person. This bronzer is very neutral, and I can use it, and I will. It's a very subtle one, so I do like that. And then this is very flat because he'll use it and I use it. This is a good, I can't use this all over my face as a finishing powder, but it has a yellow undertone to it, and it's really pale, so it's a nice under eye brightening powder. So I will grab it for that, and then he grabs it for these shades. So obviously none of those are going anywhere. It was very hard not to buy the new ones this year. Okay, so next are some other blush and face palettes. This is Lunar Beauty, the Moon Prism Blush Palette. I think I got this in the mystery box I did from them. And it is pretty. I really like it for Twilight and Gravity. Another brown blush, coral blush, but I don't ever use these cooler tone ones. And I'm never gonna use that baby pink or this shade. That is a pretty like rosy tone. Okay, maybe I will. I was gonna get rid of this. I don't use this one and I don't use that one. But I do like this brown and I do like this rosy tone. I like these three. So this is gonna go in Purgatory. I should probably pass this along. In the I think 2 years I've had this, I've barely used it. So I think I have so many other blushes that I grabbed for over this. I think I'm gonna give this away, but it is really pretty. And I like it better than anything they've come out with since. So we'll see. I think this is gonna go in Purgatory. It's gonna go in the maybe. If I don't, kind of like with those cut blushes from Finding Ferdinand, the cool ones, now that it's like cool tone, like basically winter here, fall and winter and early spring in Seattle is just one big season of wet and cold. If I don't use this in the next month or two in that time period, then it's gonna go. And then this is from Nomad Cosmetics. This is the Monarcha palette. This came out with one of their holiday collections a few years ago. And I love this. So it does have a bright pink that I'm never really gonna use, but it has these like orangey terracottas and then these glowy, also kind of terracotta tones that are like a blush highlight. I've used this a lot. These are really pigmented, really beautiful. I love the theme. As a Mexican person, seeing a Mexican themed brand and palette makes me really happy. So, I mean, not everything they do is Mexican themed, but a lot of it is celebrating Laura's family and heritage. So this has a special place for me. So even though I don't use it all the time, I'm gonna keep this. And I can probably get rid of this, but like I said, I'll try these again. I haven't used this in a while, so I'm gonna try these again in the next couple weeks, and this probably will get decluttered, so I'm just gonna put it over there for now. These are the Infinity palettes from LH Cosmetics. These are a eyeshadow face, you can do everything with them palette. I won these all in a giveaway from the brand, and I don't grab them often, but when I do, I really love them, so I'm gonna keep them all. This is an Infinity Deep. These are a little bit more of a sheer formula because you can use them on the eyes and the face. So you've got a black, you've got these like nice kind of contour bronzer shades here, and this blush. This is a really beautiful highlight. These also makes a really nice neutral smoky eyeshadow look. So really pretty, really nice formula. This is the original Infinity. And this one's a little pale for me, but it does have, again, a black. It's got a good contour shade. Made for paler skin, but I can still get away with it. This is a little wrong color-wise for me, but I've used it on the eyes mostly, more than as a bronzer. And then these are just really pretty. So this is a similar vibe on the eye, but a little more toned down. I probably could get rid of this, but it does work nicely and it's pretty versatile, so I'm gonna keep it. These are stored in a separate place, so that's part of why I don't use them as much. And then this is the Infinity Glam. This is the one I've used the most. So you've got, this is basically a contour on me. You can see it's like a little gray beige. This is a dark, used lightly can be a contour shade. These are both really beautiful blushes on me, and these are really pretty highlights. Or again, you can do your eyes with them. I've traveled with these, so like while they only get used maybe a couple times a year, they're really nice when I do use them. So I'll keep those. I don't think I'm gonna get rid of that much as far as face palettes. And then the last stack are from Trixie Cosmetics. So these are all of their original blushes. So they now sell them in the singles like you saw earlier, but this is how they sold them originally. And I collected them all because that was me. So this is the Summer of Love palette. I like this dark berry, and then blending it out with the baby pink is nice. I wouldn't really use this by itself. And then you've got a pink highlight. I could probably pass this along. I never wear these tones anymore, but it was like part of I had to have them all kind of a thing that I'm over. Yeah, I think I might try this again this week. That is a really pretty blush. I don't have anything quite, I don't think I kept anything else like that in powder version, but I think this is gonna go in with Moon Prism as like purgatory. This is my favorite. This is Mod About You. Oranges, really natural, kind of gold, lit from within highlight. Love it. Really beautiful oranges, fully keeping that one. This is the Back to the Fuchsia palette. Interesting, cool purples. I don't really wear this highlight, but I have used it on the eyes. I don't have anything else like this, so fun idea. This one's been used a lot, as you can see. I used to use that a lot, so definitely keeping. And then my other favorite is the Just a Girl. Love the 90s vibe. And it's nudes. You can buy these as singles now instead of buying this whole thing, so definitely worth it. I think this is the most worth it, and then I think Mod About You is my second. These are my favorites, and this just because it's really unique, I'll keep. These two may be going away, and then for sure this. So I think that is everything. I guess as part of my face would be doing like mascara and stuff, so I can talk about those real quick since they are not, they're not really eyeshadow, so I don't know if I want to include them in like the eyeshadow video. So I'll just eye products that aren't like eyeshadow. I have a few open mascaras right now because PR. So this is one of my top 2 mascaras. This is the Isamaya Rubber Lash. This and the Lisa Eldridge mascara are my top 2 mascaras of all time. I got this for myself, and this is the second one of these. It lifts, it separates, I have really thick, long lashes already, so I don't want anything that's too clumpy or too volumizing, and this is just perfect. It's a little less buildable than the Lisa, but it's like my perfect mascara along with that. I hope they never discontinue it. This I bought a while ago, and I finally tried. This is the Kill Lash from Clio. It is a waterproof mascara, and it is really nice. It does take a while to get it off my eyelashes, but it holds the curl nicely, and it does that like lifted, separated look that I enjoy, especially for like a no makeup look. I can do a light layer. I also have the Surratt lash tint, but that is literally just a tint, so it's my other favorite. So Surratt, Isamaya, Lisa. I forgot to grab it, so I'll just mention it here. It's little, it has a metal wand. If you want to know my detailed thoughts, check out my Surratt video, but it's perfect. And then my best friend, who doesn't like to wear like her main makeup is she'll wear mascara or she'll just curl her lashes, but it's like her favorite mascara as well because it adds a little bit of color, a little bit of length, but not much, and it looks really natural. So Surratt for the win there. I've got 2 eye primers that I have. The NARS is great, and then I have Pat McGrath Intensify Sticks for shimmers. I also have NYX Glitter Glue, but I never really use it anymore. And then I got these 2 in PR recently. So this is the Swede Pro Lift Mascara and the Cloud Mascara. I typically do mascara last. I pulled this out recently because I was using these and they take a little more finesse, and this is just like, I'm in a rush, I need my comfort, I needed to open it. These have really great wands. The Pro Lift definitely is the most lifting and lengthening mascara I've ever used. It adds so much length. I already have long lashes, so they like almost curl and touch my brow. It's got a really interesting wand. So if you want a lot of length, I think this is worth checking out. I will have a review of this once I've had it longer. I've only had it for a couple weeks now, or I've opened it for a couple weeks, and this is the Cloud. It adds a little volume, a little length, but if I do it lightly, it looks really pretty, but it's really easy. It's a little thicker, and it's easy for like a little goopier and thinner, so it's a little easy for me to like accidentally get too much and then have to like comb through my lashes. So the other morning when I was like, I don't have time, I want my foolproof, I finally opened this one. So those are my mascaras right now. Okay, and that is everything. This is a long video. Thank you if you watched it all. I have some non-declutter videos coming soon, but then I also have a lipstick and lip liner and lip gloss declutter coming, and then my eyeshadow one, which will be also very long. I probably won't swatch very much in that, but that is the biggest part of my collection. So thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you all in my next video in a few days.